Welcome to the Tribute Lounge. I'm Mark Fawcett.
And I'm Shane Johnsen.
And today we are unboxing our two best-selling splitboard bindings, the BURTON Hitchhikers and the Union Explorers.
We also want to start this off by thanking everybody that's subscribed over the last little while. We really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button below, the little bell icon, and it helps us keep rolling with this stuff.
There's a lot of stuff in here.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
These are the 2022s, and I've had the pleasure of running, well, both of these since both of them have been making snowboard bindings. So definitely both of us have had a lot of experience with the Hitchhikers and with the Explorers. So
we're gonna unbox these.
Let's see what comes out of here.
We figured this was a very worthy overview, if you would, on the two platforms that seem to be the most popular here.
This is pretty rad. It's like a shaving kit or a bathroom kit.
You get a lot of goodies.
I like it.
So
there's a lot of stuff in here.
Let's get everything unpacked here. So this platform is this is built by Spark R&D, and then BURTON builds the upper. So we have the inject mold straps. It's a really nice setup, actually. You're getting the double take ladders, which we found the durability of these long-term has been excellent. So BURTON's been using the Spark platform since they came out with this. Spark's over a decade into development with this system. Very, very clean. The addition of the whammy bar, two-stage. That's really nice. And then no pin system with this. It's just the front toe opens up, integrates into the toe piece, and away you go. BURTON's built the upper on this. We have an inject mold that's very similar to what you find with the Cartel. DT ratchet, 45 degrees there. We found the durability of this. It's really, really good. And the toe cap, 2.0. These guys, 4 years in the running now with this development. This is the third version we've had in store. We've done it from day one. We both used it a fair bit, as well as this. Metal versus
nylon plastic composite.
Nylon plastic, yeah.
And with Spark and the Hitchhikers, they went through that evolution years ago of having to make the micro adjustments in the length of the binding and where they needed the strength and where they didn't. Union did this pretty much really in the first year. It was super impressive. We had some of the prototypes here. We made some comments and some feedback, and it got better and better through those first 2 years. Now into year 4, they've really got it wired. Dimensionally, it's bang on now. Because it's that nylon plastic composite, it's manufactured just like a normal snowboard binding. And that's what we'll talk about later.
Yeah, you notice it. You notice it. There could be some foot fatigue associated with standing on metal. There could be. If you're working in the industry, you know, you've had a good experience with these. We've been using these a long time. When these guys came into the game, the ride down changed. It did. You really were comfortable again. I noticed no difference from the Union Force that I've always ridden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a company that has essentially just stepped into the splitboard market, they're doing great. Also, what we'll talk about, really unique system. It's engineered to use the same hole patterns, but a very different way of fastening the binding to the board in solid mode in particular.
Yep.
Which is pretty interesting and quite cool. And versatile, as we pulled out this really cool gear sleeve, toy sleeve, you have You have various sets of pucks, so you can run it, of course, as a split, but you can also use these with the mini approach skis, the Rovers,
Mount
to
to
run
your solid board.
To mount
Yeah,
to your solid board, and the same binding does both really well.
The other conversation we have in the shop quite often is the amount of moving parts. There's other manufacturers out there that have a lot of moving parts. The one thing I really like about the Union, I'm just gonna close this. One thing cool here is, I always tell everybody, the one moving part is you. The pin's out, it's you that's putting the pin back in. And when you're in the backcountry, the least amount of moving parts, there is a theory there that does make sense. This is very, very simple as well. You know, our only moving part right there, that opens up, slides on. We'll show some of that shortly here. Simple is best in the backcountry, where, you know, it's not easy to fix things that are complicated.
And of course, both bindings come with a.
Yeah, that's very key to
It's
talk
a key.
about here.
It's a key little piece, and then the Union one looks like this, and the Burton one
I'll be
looks
back.
like.
This.
And what these do, these are guides to be able to put your pucks together so that everything fits together perfectly. And you'd be really shocked. The tolerances to make these bindings perform well are pretty small. So you have to have those two pucks now on the. You'll see the difference on the Hitchhikers and the
How
Burtons.
this guy drops in.
They're traditionally spaced apart, and the Union's got a different system, so they come like pretty much completely together and locked together in the middle of the board. So it has a different template.
And that brings up another good point,
interface.
too. That brings up the point of more, there's an interface underfoot. Therefore, it's bonding both your board together right underfoot instead of the upper plate doing so, which I think felt better. I think you do notice it. There's that happening right above board instead of the actual binding being the bond.
And the
being the
binding
bridge.
makes a pretty big bridge,
Yeah,
and that doesn't
yeah.
really happen with the Unions. I think giving it a touch more of that traditional feel.
I quite like it.
It feels like
Yeah,
a 4x4
Yeah.
snowboard binding.
Exactly. Yeah.
Completely. So other similar features, of course, both of them have adjustable forward lean. Both of them have a system where you can, because when you're walking, you want as little forward lean as possible while in touring mode. So both of them have a mode that it is leaned back quite far. One thing
Negative forward lean.
Negative
forward lean.
reverse lean.
Reverse lean.
What I like about the Union is once it's in that back position, it's literally a quick slap out of it, and then it's back to the exact position you wanted it in.
This
Burton,
guy.
The Burton is pretty dang simple too.
Oh, yeah.
You do have to undo the latch to position it back to where you want it, but lots of options for both of them with the high backs. The other thing that's super similar on them, of course, is your ascending blocks. So Union, and here's where Shane and I'll argue, Union's real simple. It's super nice little corner to grab there with the back end of your pole or even the other end of your pole or finger. Flips down. It's got to be out. Flips down.
There it is. Yep.
Quite clean and easy. It's padded a little bit too, so you don't need to put anything on your board back there at all. There's no little receiving mount. It just clicks straight down onto the board, and that's an extra piece that you can actually take off of your split board from an older or traditional system. And again, I like the simplicity of one ascending block. That's all I ever use.
I want more. So with this guy, we're getting right out of the box, we're getting two. We're getting stage 1, stage 2. Which is enough. 2 stages are enough. What Mark was referring to is I ended up adding a volet 2-stage to my split board with this system, so now I have 3, which is giving me exactly what I wanted. A lot of options, exactly what I wanted.
From my perspective, if this isn't working for some reason, if you feel you needed more, you're climbing too steep. This is really all you need.
It's kind of true too. So this, it's an added weight, but there's not much to it. There is a little stopper that you will mount to your board that this is interfacing with as you're climbing. But it gives you 2 good climbing stages. The difference is noticeable too. But yeah, you're right. Anything beyond 45 degrees is getting excessive anyway. When we're discussing the base plates of each binding, this one being metal, this one being, you know, our nylon composite, I like to think, and I think it has been proven that on the climb, on the way up, the medial lateral is so stiff, being a metal chassis, that this one kind of climbs, you know, maybe a percentage better. It's really freaking stable. It locks into place in the toe piece very, very well, and you're not going to get any sort of medial roll happening, right? That said, you know, I think that's where the trade-off of these 2 bindings happen, where I really like this on the way down. This really rides well. This really feels like my Union Force or my Burton Cartels or whatever. It just feels like that kind of system on the way down. So we have to bring that point up. There is going to be a big difference, and that kind of lends to where is your decision happening? What are you spending more time doing? What are you spending more time enjoying?
And who are you out there riding with? So I know at our local hill, we have some like super health nut, hot shot, CrossFit people.
Dudes I don't want to go out with anymore.
And I mean, it's just like full gas, high speed. They're not waiting for you anywhere, especially the transitions. And the skiers have a little bit of an advantage on us on the transitions. Obviously, they only have to deal with skins. We got to like turn skis into a snowboard and a snowboard into a pair of skis. Yep. So from that perspective, like speed of transition, I definitely say Hitchhiker's a touch faster.
There's a percentage
system.
faster. Boom.
I think for like that climbing, like you're talking about, like especially on like hard, sketchy side hilling, I'd kind of think that this works a little bit better. Then, you know, the other crew that's up here, which is the crew I ride with, it's all about the descent. Yeah. You know, we climb to go up. It's not any less efficient in actual climbing. On the way down, this feels like a snowboard binding to me in comparison.
You're only going to notice maybe in a really gnarly side hill where you're really, you know, where something's where it's crucial.
Hairs. Really be splitting hairs. This thing's still going to function in those situations. Yep. You know, you might be a few seconds longer in any of the transitions just dealing with the pin. It is simple.
Maybe.
It's not complicated at all. It's not difficult. It's just you just might have a couple extra seconds on this one versus doing that with this one. There it was.
It's pretty nominal. It's pretty nominal. Yep.
One more similarity, and I think super important in any snowboard binding, is adjustable sliding heel cups. So this is for micro centering your boot over the edge. So if you don't want too much heel drag or toe drag, one thing you cannot really do too much with splitboard bindings is a completely horizontal slide with the fastening system. So it has to happen within the heel cup. And both have ample options to micro adjust and center your foot over the edges.
Yeah, and you also don't want too much toe hang because of how we climb with these, right? Our toe is interfacing up front. We can't be too far over that, or, you know, it's going to impact the board and you actually will not get the full advantage of the climbing.
You start pinching your toes, and I've actually had it happen. And you want to be close to that because if you're too far back, you don't have the leverage. Exactly. But, you know, it's a key part of your six-pack while setting up your splitboard the night before you go out the first time.
Exactly. Full six-pack, okay? Yeah.
Full
six-pack.
It used to be a 12-pack.
Yeah, now it's
getting
a six-pack.
faster.
It is faster. All right. Well, let's go to look at how these interface on a board. So the beauty of the Union is it just drops in here, you twist, you feel it lock in place, and then right away the pin just, you just put the pin across, lock the pin in its little house at the side of the platform.
So seemingly straightforward and traditional, but we'll definitely chat about it super quick. To go into touring mode for these bindings, once you have them off, this is as basic as it gets.
Yeah.
It just fits into these toe interfaces, and the axle slides through and locks into its little spot.
Obviously the board's split, and for anyone out there new to split boarding, the skis aren't the same. They actually will cross over. So you don't want to be bashing tips together, so that's another key.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and buckles out.
buckles out.
Buckles out and pin out, so you're not catching them.
Exactly.
And moving on to the Burton Hitchhiker and how it interfaces onto the board, both while riding and touring.
So with this system, like we discussed earlier, we have the large metal plate. That's basically the bridge to bond the boards together over our two pucks here. So as you slide it onto the puck system, you just clamp the front here, lock that in place, and away you go. You're ready to start shredding down the mountain. The toe pieces, Mark.
Yeah, really neat little way they've gone about that is to have them offset. So the pins are in there offset, so they don't clamp straight down and then you have to skewer through with the axle. They're already in place. They just come in from the side, and then again, the toe ramp clamps down, locks everything into place, and you're touring. So on and off, it's, I think, the fastest system on and off for touring mode.
By a small percentage.
By a small percentage.
Small percentage, I'd say, yes.
Pretty fast. I feel that this might have a slight advantage on the quick transitions, like really slight. And I think for those riders wanting that super similar feeling to their standard
Comfort,
setup
man.
and
Yeah,
comfort,
yeah.
this definitely takes it from that perspective.
Yeah, we sell both of these at Tribute. We back both of them 100%. We've used them both a lot. Great splitboard setup. If you're getting out there, make sure you take an AST course. This is pretty important. And yeah.
Listen to some podcasts. Effing rad.
Effing rad. We got a shout out to our homie, Shred Jesus, man. He's awesome. And Eric, make sure everybody's listening to that one for sure. And then we'll go into...
I don't have that.
Oh yeah,
I
you
could
don't
maybe steal that from someone.
Go into what?
We can make a new one down the
The
road
first ever
Bathroom?
No, our first one where we go, hey, thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe, click the little bell icon, like, and if you have any questions, any ideas on further episodes, we'd love to do them. So, leave a comment below and we'll get after it.